Okay guys, so welcome back to today's video. We have a proper treat on our hands today. 56,000 mile in the green with two owners. This was bought in 2016 by the original owner. Only done 7,000 miles in this car. So yeah, this is a big car, this for me, because I always try and, yes, do different content, but this car is like as standard, as original, as factory fresh as I'm ever gonna get on this channel. I feel like this is literally been pulled out of the dealership. Yes, it has 56,000 miles on it, it has been driven, but this is as untouched as it's ever gonna be. This is never seen a remap, it's never seen a pop and bang map, it's got no stickers on it. It is like, there's nothing wrong with that, but there is nothing quite like seeing the true intentions of an auto manufacturer in the performance sector, which is what this car is. This is as factory as we're ever gonna get. It's literally even wearing similar tires to when these came out. It's had every single genuine Ford item put on this that is, you know, available. So it's very exciting for me to take this out. More importantly, talk about this being, of course, as you can see in the title, the last great RS car. Is it? Leave a comment below at the start of this video. Let me know your thoughts. Is this the very last great RS car? We'll chat about that more in a minute. Let's start up, go for a drive, shall we? Completely stock exhaust, completely standard car. Mate, this is how it was. This is how it was when you bought one of these from the factory. First thing I'm gonna say is we start to warm the car up, go down the road. I've already obviously drove to locations, the car's a little more. The throw of the gearbox, unbelievable. You just forget, because you hear popping this and exhaust flames, blah blah blah, you forget how good that gear change was from the factory. Steering wheel as well, thick, chunky, with this blue accent stitching going round, just so lovely. And as you'll hear, that 5-pot engine isn't necessarily muffled in the factory car, but it is just as it was intended, just as it was intended, this car. As you can see, huge smile on my face in this one. Standard suspension as well, completely stock suspension, stock wheels, no wheel spacers. The engine vents, as you can see, are still the factory colour. That hasn't even been messed with. Like, this car has never again seen any modification. It's had new badges, that's literally it, because the RS badges on these sort of, you know, over time have clouded a little bit, so there's new RS badges on it. That's literally it. And I tell you, just from driving this for the past, you know, 20 minutes, say, just enjoying it, getting to grips with the car as a factory car, this was just a leap ahead. Now, that's not why this video exists on the internet, and that's not why I wanted to pick this car up today. I want to talk about this being the last great RS car. The Mark III RS, I'm going to touch a little bit on this, but I have done a lot of content on the Mark III versus the Mark II in, you know, previous years. The Mark III, in my opinion, if you put the RS recipe in front of you, front wheel drive, manual, 2-door, wide arches, great soundtrack from a good engine of its era, the Mark III wasn't quite it. And that's nothing against Mark IIIs. If you like your Mark IIIs, shout out if you like Mark IIIs. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is right. The recipe was this exact car: wide arches, big wing, manual, 2-door. Then the Mark III wasn't quite it. You know, a 4-wheel drive setup, 4 doors. The arches weren't as wide, like it was tamed down a little bit. So then, moving forward, this is it, innit? This was the last great RS car, and I'll let you into a little secret. I actually went to an event recently. Now, I won't say which event it was, but I was talking to someone that's relatively high up in, you know, production of fast Fords, and he's done a lot with the RS brand in the past, and moving forward, what they're going to do with, you know, electric, hybrid, whatever it is. But I asked him a simple question: is the RS brand coming back? His words were, we're not saying it's coming back, but we haven't killed it. Now, here's my big talking point of having this car in my possession today. even if there was a new Mark 5 Focus coming out, because they didn't do a Mark 4 RS, right? They did a Mark 3, this is the Mark 2. They did a Mark 5 Focus RS. It is not going to be like this. It is going to be, let's just, you know, say, it's going to be a mild hybrid. It's probably going to be a crossover vehicle. It's not going to be a 2-door, bucket seat wearing, manual gearbox car like this. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen again. And I do believe that I've touched on this in the past, where this then, subsequently, the Mark III, in my opinion, not being as exciting or as recipe direct as the Mark II, the Mark 1 Focus RS's, my RS Turbo, that was what it was all about, then this is it. This is Pinnacle RS. And then moving forward, this is the last great one, and we didn't even know it was happening. At the time when this car came out, you guys saw it on Top Gear. I saw this car, this exact car, like, you know, with the wheels in silver and the green paint. You saw this on there and you was like, that's mental, and it drives mental. It does all the RS things it should. And then the Mark III come out and I was like, oh, that's not good. I've had people that have, you know, enjoyed them, and I get that, and this isn't a bash at the Mark III, but it brings home my point of this being it. This is it, innit? Ford, please, if you're watching, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong by bringing a new RS to market this as good as this one, because you outdid yourselves here. With the Mark 1, you outdid what was the sector of a hot hatch. You absolutely, with Colin McRae, you absolutely just demolished what the hot hatch recipe was. It was a great car. This then, unbelievable car, like, just insane. We're on a lovely bit of road here. Listen to that 5-pop. Even as a factory car, mate, you don't need to do nothing to these things. But this is my point, like, you don't get cars like this anymore. It's over, innit? So then you start looking back and thinking, right, well, all of these cars that are coming out these days, fast stuff, it's a bit out of control, isn't it? It's, you know, it's a bit safe. Everything's 4-wheel drive. Nothing's rear-wheel drive anymore. Nothing's really front-wheel drive anymore either. This then, from Ford, will be the last great RS car. Fiesta now is dead. Does that mean the ST Fiesta is dead forever? I don't know. It's a sad reality, but I'm so glad I'm able to make content with a vehicle like this, of this stature, that is low mileage. I believe 56,000 miles to be low in one of these. A beautiful colour. The owner, again, as I'm, you know, circling back to the ownership of this car, it's currently for sale, which is a huge shame. I'd love to buy it, but just I can't buy it. It's just not happening. She's had it since 2016 with 7,000 miles on it. She's personally put 50,000 miles on this car and not once modified it, and I really take my hat off for that, because it then proves that this car was great to start with. It doesn't need anything else. And after driving it today and spending some time with this car, unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it is a shame, yes, it is a shame that we're not able to walk into a dealership and buy a car like this anymore. So with that, guys, I'm going to end today's video there. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like I've waffled too much, let me know in the comments below. If you feel like I have said the right thing here, where the Mark II Focus RS, especially one like this, is pinnacle, maybe hot hatch of its generation, I do sort of think so. And whether this is the last hurrah, whether this is not going to be beaten by a new Ford RS product, I don't think it is. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, and I'll see you all on the next video.